Billy Hargrove is a massively popular character in Stranger Things. However, there is one huge problem that I see that is not talked about enough in the fandom, and that is, why are we even defending him and supporting him in the first place? Why does he have so many fan cams and edits and people mourning his death when he was really one of the most horrible characters in the entire show? In this video, I am going to go into an in-depth rant about why I think it is so incredibly messed up and backwards that we are supporting and defending Billy Hargrove, but not Jason in season 4. To me, the math isn't mathing. So I'm going to talk about why I think this whole issue needs more attention on it. Why we need more attention on why people are supporting Billy Hargrove in the first place. The most common defense of Billy is he was being controlled by the Mind Flayer in season 3. Okay, sure. For the latter half of that season, his body wasn't his own. But back it up to season 2, before the Upside Down ever even touched him, and Billy was still a nightmare. He wasn't just a bad boy, he was explicitly racist. His warning to Max about staying away from Lucas, he didn't have a supernatural entity in his head when he was slamming Lucas against a wall or trying to run the kids off a road. He was homophobic, he was sexist, and he was a violent bully to anyone smaller than him. And yet, the second we see his dad being mean to him, the fandom goes, "Oh, he's just a broken soul." Newsflash, having a bad home life is an explanation, not an excuse. You can be a victim of abuse and still be a bigot. Why are we giving him a pass for season 2 just because he's played by a really hot guy? So, now let's look at Jason in season 4. Why do we hate Jason? He's hunting Eddie. He's a religious manic. He's annoying. Let's look at it from Jason's perspective. He is a teenager who just saw his girlfriend's body mangled in a way that defies physics. He doesn't know about Vecna. He doesn't know about the Upside Down. He doesn't know about anything. In his mind, Eddie Munson is the leader of a satanic cult who murdered the love of his life in ritualistic sacrifice. He is not necessarily a villain. He is a vengeful boyfriend who thinks he is doing the right thing. Billy targeted Lucas, specifically because of his skin colour. Jason let Lucas onto the basketball team, celebrated him, and trusted him. There isn't a single line of dialogue suggesting that Jason is racist in any way. Billy hurt people because he liked the power, and Jason hurt people because he thought he was stopping a murderer. If we can forgive Billy for being an actual bigot because he had a tough childhood, why can't we understand Jason's actions through the lens of extreme grief and a literal town-wide moral panic? The truth is uncomfortable. People like Billy because he fits the hot bad boy aesthetic. People hate Jason because he represents the preppy jock trope that we're conditioned to dislike in 80s movies and shows and content. We've traded moral consistency for vibes. Billy was a violent bigot who happened to die a hero. Jason was a grieving kid. Stop pretending one is good and the other is evil just because one looks good in a denim vest. You need to remember that season 4 is set in 1986, and the satanic panic was a very real mainstream hysteria. Like I said, to Jason, Eddie Munson is not a misunderstood rebel. He is the leader of a satanic cult. He has been conditioned to believing and thinking what he believes and thinks by the media by people telling him things that are simply not true. And people can make that excuse for Billy. They can say, racism isn't right, racism isn't true. I'm pretty sure it goes without saying that any decent human being, even back then, doesn't care about that. None of the main cast care that Lucas is black. It shouldn't be a case of he's been conditioned to be this way, so that means that he can do what he's doing because he's also been conditioned. Because one of those things, because they're two completely different things. One of them is a widespread hysteria that people think is gonna kill their children and Satan and demons and shit. The other one is racism. Literal racism. Not to mention that Billy Hargrove is a predatory womanizer. People love it when he's flirting with Mrs. Wheeler, but it's actually, like, incredibly creepy. She is a married woman with kids who is clearly going through it. He targets her to exert power. It's so creepy. He views the women as objects, as he uses his physical appearance, his mere presence to intimidate them, to make them think that they want him or need him or whatever, when really he's a horrible fucking person. He was a sexist and homophobic bigot, and people just... the fact that people can look at a man flirting with a married woman who has children, who's going through a really difficult time, is clearly going through a lot, and can still defend that and make hot thirst edits of him. How people can do that is beyond me. I also want to say that I am in no way defending Jason's actions. What Jason did is incredibly wrong. He went on pretty much a psychotic spree. He was losing it, and that is not okay. He does need to be held accountable for that, because he did do bad things. But if we're going to hold him accountable, then we need to hold Billy accountable for what he did too, which in my opinion is a lot worse than what Jason has done. The whole double standard isn't just annoying, it is genuinely harmful. Caleb McLaughlin, who plays Lucas, has been vocal about the racism that he's faced within the industry. Caleb has revealed that he was paid less than his white co-stars to appear at conventions, specifically in Europe and Asia, if I remember correctly, due to prejudiced laws. He's said that it pisses him off to see fans ignore what Billy did to his character. When the actor himself is saying, hey, it hurts that people romanticize my character's tormentor, we should be listening. We should listen to this. We should take note of it. By standing Billy whilst demonizing Jason, we are proving Caleb's point. We're willing to humanize a white bully with a sad backstory, but offer zero nuance to the character of colour who was actually his victim. At the end of the day, Billy Hargrove was an awful person. A sexist, racist, and homophobic bigot. Jason went through a lot in a very short period of time. He lost someone very close to him. And just because one turned against your pretty little boyfriend, your pretty little TV show boyfriend, and wanted to hurt him, that doesn't mean that he is worse than the person who did things that were a lot worse than what he did. Does that make sense? Just because it's pretty privilege. It is pretty privilege at its core. Just because Billy Hargrove is conventionally attractive to some people, just because he, is a good flirt or whatever, just because he has that sex appeal. That should not mean that we are defending him and hating Jason. I, by all means, as I said, am not defending Jason's actions. Jason fucked up bad. Jason did some awful things. Jason was the worst. I don't like Jason. But I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like Jason and then start thirsting over Billy. And hey, I'm not saying that I don't get it either. I can understand why people like Billy, why people find him attractive. Who doesn't love a good bad boy? Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't want a little, who doesn't like that? I like that. But when it's a character like Billy, who is genuinely such a bad person, and nobody calls him out on it, it is beyond me. I like JD from Heathers. Okay, I love JD so much. I think he's so attractive. But I know that he's literally murdered people. The film knows that he's literally murdered people. The characters in the film know that. They know he's in the wrong. The fans know that he's in the wrong, and know that he fucked up, and know that he's a psychotic murderer, and yet we can still find him attractive. It's similar, but it's not the same, because there is that difference of Billy fans and Billy simps ignoring it, ignoring his racism, ignoring his homophobia, his sexism. Sure, they might say, oh, I love a bad boy, I can fix him. Miss Girl, you are 13 years old watching TikToks on your iPad. No, you can't. I'm not hating on you if you like Billy, if you find him attractive, because I can understand why you would. But I just physically can't when I know that people are defending his actions and not... Sorry about that. I physically cannot like him as a character when I know I physically cannot find him attractive. I would like him as a character when I know that so many people just ignore his blatant racism and predatory behaviour. If you can forgive Billy for being a racist, homophobic predator, then genuinely, it is beyond me how so many people are overlooking this and not talking about this. I have seen one person, I saw one YouTube short talk about this. I can't remember the name of the channel, but I'll try and link it in the description of this video, talking about this, which is where I got all the information about the stuff that Caleb had said on the racism that he has faced in the industry. I will try and find it and link it in the description, because it basically is saying everything that I want to say here. Why are we hating characters like Jason but not characters like Billy? It is beyond me, and it will always be beyond me. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think on all of this. Let me know if you are Team Billy. Let me know if you are anti-Billy. Let me know if you are Team give both Billy and Jason the justice that they deserve. Let me know if you are Team let's stop giving Jason such a hard time compared to Billy. Just let me know your thoughts. I would love to know what other people think on this, which is why I'm making this really... It's like 3 AM when I'm filming this. I'm so tired. I have a cough, which is why I kept coughing. Sorry about that, but yeah, no. It is like 3 AM. I'm tired. I just wanted to come on here and rant. If you saw me looking off the screen, sorry, I was looking at my script. But yeah. Thank you for watching this video if you've made it all the way to the end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video for more content like this, and subscribe for when I post new video essays, because I'm hoping to post more because I find this style of content really fun to do. And I will see you next time. Bye!